Hello everybody. Today, 11 December 2023, I'm going to talk about CyberD publishing new release, The Beautiful Harpies by Cameron Scott Kirk, the author of The Mad Trinket. From the day we received the submission for this novel, we were intrigued by the powerful oxymoron within the title. The Beautiful Harpies is indeed a juxtaposition of two antinomic words or concepts, such as giant dwarf, living dead, deafening silence, or even bittersweet, one of the strong and cute words from Shakespeare himself. When we read the Beautiful Harpies manuscript, we got even more excited. Not only did we love the writing, the plot cleverly set out, the numerous intriguing characters, and the dynamic and vivid fights, we also understood that the Beautiful Harpies was not only a metaphor for the current tension between men and women in our decadent, old Western world. It was also bringing back the Harpies as fantastic demoniac beings which can easily compete with today bloodthirsty vampires, goblins of all kinds, malefic witches, or even dragons. The Harpies are not angels, on the contrary, they are diabolical, they are foul and pollute the atmosphere. They snatch people, even kids, and according to Cameron Scott Kirk novel, they may have opened the gates of hell. In Cameron's imaginary round-down city with the name of Daisy, decadence and poverty are both undermining people's lives. There are no schools, kids do not play or even laugh, rather they work hard in the dirt and are bullied and physically attacked by rats. Joy and beauty have long been gone, and when a group of harpies emerge in Daisy, disappearances, killings, and even torture further darken the permanent, unescapable misery. There is a plot with a bit of hope of some kind of resolution, with two interesting characters in dispute. However, as a grim-dark novel, the dogma and the right or wrong are blurred and not there to be grasped. The reader has to connect with the character and build up his or her own conclusions. That is why the round identification of characters is so important here, and I can reassure you, Cameron does not let the reader down. He reintroduces here with panache the harpy as a malefic, fantastic creature animated by human hate and wanting to bully and punish vices and men in general. His Beautiful Harpies are worse than vampires. They are unpredictable. Like witches, they use magic potions. They are shape shifters and have other powers for you to discover. Are they agents of the god, like in the ancient Greece, or creature of hell, like in Dante's Inferno? That's for you to decide, but rather than risking any spoiler, let me tell you about history. Harpies emerge in the antique Greece as mythical beings. Then around the 14th century, the term harpy got commonly used to describe a nagging, waspish and dangerous woman, someone who can snatch something precious from us. In antique Greece, they were believed to be Zeus' hounds and were feared as a personification of storm winds, winds that carry people away. Then, like all mythical creatures, they change over time to become, according Hesiod, fair-haired and winged maidens who surpass the winds in swiftness and were named Aelo, Ocypete, and Selaeno, the dark harpy. In the legend of Jason and the Argonauts, the Harpies were called upon by Zeus to bother and execute vengeance against the blind Phineus, who mistreated his kids and overused his power of predictions. The Harpies called by Zeus snatched Phineus' food, spoiled and polluted his table over and over again until Jason and his counterpart came for help. Later, the Harpies morphed again and became disgusting monsters with heads like maidens, faces pale with anger, and claws like vultures. In one of Achilles' tragedies, the high priestess of the temple of Apollo compared the Harpies to the Gorgons in the following lines. Let me quote. Before this man an extraordinary band of women slept, seated on thrones, no, not women, but rather Gorgons I call them, and yet I cannot compare them to forms of Gorgons either. Once before I saw some creature in a painting, carrying off the feast of Phineus, but these are wingless in appearance, black, altogether disgusting. They snore with repulsive breath. They drip from their eyes hateful drops. Their attire is not fit to bring either before the statues of the god or into the homes of men. I have never seen the tribe that produce this company, nor the land that boasts of rearing this brood with impunity, and does not grieve for its labor afterwards. Then, later on, Dante, in the late medieval Italy, introduce the Harpies in the seventh circle of the Inferno. He will name it the woods of self-murderers. The Harpies were there to torment sinners who committed. In the Inferno, those sinners were deemed not to keep their human form and rather got transformed in gnarled trees. The Harpies would eat their leaf and make their nest in their branches, polluting even further their tormented souls. That's history. I will not add anything more. I invite you to get hold of Cameron Scott Kirk invigorating new stories of Harpies. Check out our website www.scibirdie.co.uk. The beautiful Harpies should interest the readers of Cameron Scott Kirk, of course, but also the readers of Anna Smith Park, A Woman of a Sword, or Martin J. Best, Ghost Hunters. Fans of the Game of Thrones should like this book too, and people knowledgeable of mythology and Ovid's work should find fascinating input and 21st century add-on to the mythology of the Harpies. Before leaving you, though, I want to read a poem named Benediction. It is a poem from Charles Baudelaire, which came back to my mind while reading the beautiful Harpies. While Cameron evokes a grim, dark story of cursed people in a mournful and somber town, Charles Baudelaire poetry evokes the doom and gloom of the cursed poet, with Harpies evoked as malefic females who can take a form of a wife, a beast ready to snatch the man's heart and throw it to the dirt. Before I start, let me reassure you that Cameron's writing is modern and easy to understand. You can check out the first pages on his appealing writing at our website. Benediction, on the other hand, I know, is less accessible and may be difficult to grasp to some of you, but if you feel like it, listen to me. Benediction. When by decree of the almighty powers the poet walks the world wearisome sod, his mother, blasphemous and fearful, cowers, clenching her fist against a pitying God. Oh, would all knots of vipers were my spawn, rather than this awful abomination! Cursed be the sweet, swift night and evil dawn, wherein my womb conceived my expiation. Since of all women you have chosen me to be my sorry husband, shame of shames, since I may not toss this monstrosity like an old billet doux into the flames. Thy heavy hatred I shall vomit back on the damned tool of your malevolence, twisting this wretched tree until it crack, never to sprout it buds of pestilence. Thus she gulps down the froth of her despair, no knowing the eternal paradigms, sinks deep into Gehenna to prepare herself the pious set for a mother's crime. Yet, guarded by an unseen angel's favors, the outcast child is fired by radiant suns. In all he eats, and all he drinks he savors, ambrosial gift and nectared beneficence. He sports with wind, he talks with clouds, he keeps singing along the road to cavalry, while the bright angel in his traces weeps, beholding him as free as birds are free. All those he would love watch him with fear, or else made bold by his serenity. Ring groans from him that float sweet on the ear, making him touchstone of their cruelty. With his due bread and wine, hypocrites, they mix ashes and fat gobs of spittle. Grim what he has touched, these humbugs cast away, deeming it guilty, but not to follow him. His wife cries in the marketplace, "Behold, since he adores me, I am fair and fain as idol deeds, and images of old to be regilded and adored again. I shall be drunk with spikenard, incense, myrrh, with genuflection, viands, and wine, to see if, as a glap usurper, I may steer his heart to pay gods homages to me." Tired of these impious japes and of their butt, my strong lithe hands caress with subtle art, and my sharp nails, like harpy claws, shall cut a mortal path straight to his quivering heart. That heart which flutters like a fledgling bird, I shall tear, bleeding from his breasts, to pitch it blandly in the dust without a word, to slake the anger of my favorite bitch. To heaven, where I spy the splendid throne, serene, the poet lift rapt arms, and bright, luminous thoughts that shine through him alone conceal the furious rabble from its sight. Blessed, O God, who send vow for a cure, a balm divine for our impurities, of essences the noblest of most pure, to school the strong for holy ecstasis. I know the poet as his place above, amid God's saintly host and congregation, guest at the everlasting banquet of the thrones, the virtues, and the dominations. Sorrow alone is noble and august, a force no earth, no hell shall ever mar. To wave my mystic crown, I know you must tax every age and universe that are. Old Tadmor vanish gems beyond all price, metals unknown, pearls from the richest sea, set by thy holy land, cannot suffice to match the dazzling chapter's splendency. This diadem shall be of sheerest light, drawn from the sacred source of primal rays, whereof our mortal eyes, however bright, serve but as piteous mirrors, dull with glaze. Bye for now. I come back soon.